Well, we've made our way into the Mulawati, and we have one of the wigs sitting very, very sleepily on the nest. So it doesn't look like much in terms of a nest, but that is indeed where they do nest. Spotted eagle owls are very, very well known for nesting on banks of riverbeds. Typically, they like more a sort of hole in the bank that they can go into, and they like steeper banks than this. And it's possibly testament to why they actually haven't been all that successful. If we think about it, I think they're unfortunately in a situation where they're getting caught out by all kinds of predators here. So we know that we have a high population, even though we don't see them all the time, a high population of things like honey badgers that are in the area. And so, they see something like this, a nest that is sitting on the ground, and they are going to climb into it. You've got civets, you've got a lot of leopard, obviously. So if there's a chick on the ground, that's going to be something that's going to get targeted. So we unfortunately, these particular eagle owls or have a tough time. There's not a huge amount of wonderful nesting areas on Djuma. We have another pair that I know of, at least, that's nesting north of Gallego. But other than them, I don't know of any other nesting pairs here, and that's probably due to the fact that they just don't have great places. They're, like I say, like drainage lines with holes and banks, and obviously our drainage areas, while they are numerous, the banks themselves are not steep, and there's not a huge amount of holes within them. So that's why they're kind of trying to find anything that they can nest in, and hopefully, this year they'll have a bit more luck than normal. But also where they are at the moment is just a tough spot. This is, as I said, an area where leopard walks all the time, and we often find tracks for Tlalamba here. We find tracks for Mulawati, Marips every now and then, Langa. There's a number of different individuals that roll through this section, and so, if that is the case and they see a little helpless, fluffy white chick, they're not going to say no to it, even though it's not a big meal for a leopard. It's, they don't even have to expend any energy, really, to go and grab it. And then that discounts all the other things that we get. But if they are successful, then it'll be good. And obviously now is the time for them to nest. We should see them nesting at this period. And typically with these guys, they should be laying anywhere between 1 and 4 eggs. 4 is extreme and not common at all. You usually only see 2 eggs, and from there only 1 chick normally survives. One chick actually hatches and is raised. It's very seldom that you'll see 2 in the wild. It does happen though, and sometimes even 3. I've seen that before as well, but most of the time it's just the 1. And then they kind of, in terms of laying of those eggs, you'll find that when they are ready to lay, they'll lay, and then it'll be about a 2 to 3 day period between the next egg that's laid. So not all eggs are laid on the same day. It takes them a few days to kind of get the next one out, and then they'll incubate those eggs, and then from there, once it's hatched, it's obviously a process of raising this chicken. So that's a good period of time. It's more than a month that they've got to be back and forth trying to actually get this chick food and keeping it out of harm's way. And so that's why typically when they have the eggs, one of the adults stays. And so if something like a leopard comes, they can try and bomb it, they can try and deter it, to try and get its attention, keep it away from the chick. But that is a lot of hard work and is not always successful, unfortunately. Every now and then we see them losing chicks like they have the last 2 seasons. I think the last one that we saw actually fledge was Sebwig, which was in 2019. So, you say it's the wig, happy heart. Cute owls, aren't they? I love owls. They just always look so soft and so sleepy when you find them in the day. They looks like they would make for a good cuddle partner, an owl. Obviously, until they regurgitate and vomit up whatever it is that they've eaten the night before, that's not so great. But I really do enjoy owls. I think they're very, very, very cool creatures. And these ones have obviously gotten so used to us because of the proximity of the nest to the little two-track that runs in the Mulawati. They don't worry about us anymore, and typically will sit like this, and you can sit for hours with them without them worrying and trying to move away. So it affords us a rare opportunity to have really long periods of time spent with quite a shy, secretive bird, and a bird that obviously moves around at night and is hard to film, because at the end of the day, filming anything with infrared is not easy, let alone a bird that flies. That's why we don't typically see a lot of birds when we have infrared. So nice that we can actually spend time with one during the day and get to see all of their features. And also just a reminder that tonight we are doing a fireside chat. So myself and Cedric will be joined by a young lady by the name of Erin Strawn.